I'm attorney Justin Clark. Coming up just ahead on You Have Real Estate, the one way you can cut your electricity bill down to virtually zero is by going solar, and solar will cost you $0 down, and your credit really doesn't matter. It's all just ahead as You Have Real Estate. Welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're still renting, a first-time home buyer, seasoned investor, or looking to sell your home, this show is designed just for you. I come here every weekend just to help you with your real estate needs. Think of it like hitting multiple open houses, all from your living room, with my attorney advice throughout the show. If you have any questions whatsoever, I have people standing by right now. All you have to do is call 407-205-0400. If you want to get pre-approved to purchase that next dream home, I have Dallas Lehman with You Have Mortgage standing by at that very same phone number, 407-205-0400. Great show ahead. You're going to love this 30 minutes, but first it's time for my opening statement. First of all, today I'm going to take you on some tours of some awesome properties that are on the market right now with Carlos Lito. But before we do that, many of you come up to me during the week and you say, Justin, I know you went solar. I know you have solar on your house. How's that working out for you? But the biggest question that I get every week from you is, well, my credit's not great and I don't have a down payment to put solar on my house. I'm glad you asked. If you go to buy a car, the average down payment to buy a car as we sit here today is $5,000 cash. And you buy a car, what did you just buy? Also a payment every month as well. You go to rent a house, the average initial payment that you make for a rental home, $4,500 because you're talking about first month, last month, and security deposit. You go buy a house, the average down payment, 3.5% at least of the actual purchase price, and now you have a payment as well. Well, good news. The average down payment, if you go to buy solar, is the same exact down payment that I paid, $0. But also with solar, you did not create an extra monthly expense for yourself as well, just the opposite. You are now taking your electricity bill from what was $300, $400, or like mine, $500, and essentially extinguish that payment altogether. So not only is it a $0 down payment, you're saving money per month because we're whacking the electricity bill that you've been paying every single month. And at the same time, your credit, yes, they're going to check your credit, but it's not like getting your credit checked for a mortgage or even a car. They are a little bit more reasonable when it comes to credit. You don't have to have perfect credit to qualify for solar. Meanwhile, you're also helping the environment along the way. That's why I think solar is absolutely a no-brainer. And now it's time for real questions. Every Saturday here on You Have Real Estate, I ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. Today on the show, it's Stephen Bader, the COO of IQ Power Solar, and Carlos Lito, who is an awesome, outstanding real estate agent here in Central Florida. Steve, welcome back to the show. How are you, sir?
Good, thank you.
So you were here for the opening statement. I talked about down payment, and I talked about credit. How accurate was it?
Pretty accurate.
So, but like with me, for instance, you know, I bought IQ Power. I bought solar through IQ Power Solar. I paid $0 down, and honestly, at that time, my credit really wasn't that good. I don't think people understand that to get solar, the down payment's $0. Is it always $0?
All of our programs are no money down programs, and ultimately, you know, one thing that you got to consider for lenders, you know, lending for solar is they understand that you're getting rid of one bill. It's not like you're adding to your monthly expense. So it's a different factor.
Talk to me about credit as well, because for some reason my credit had taken a hit. If you listen to my radio show last night, I actually checked my credit on the air, which was a terrible idea, but it had taken a hit, right? And my credit wasn't great when I got it, yet I still got a great rate. What kind of credit are you looking for, or are your lenders looking for to get solar?
Well, firstly, I would never talk about your credit or anything like that. I didn't personally see your profile. Our finance department does that, but
sure you didn't.
It changes. I mean, we have programs that are not credit based. If you're in certain corridors, there is a PACE program, and we are a PACE provider. So, you know, if you're in Apopka, Kissimmee, all through Brevard County, there's a lot of different communities that are qualified for something called the PACE program, where you don't even need credit. It's a really cool program. and it's something that's severely underrated and under advertised. But for the most part, we get a lot of people approved. So.
What do you mean PACE program? Help me understand that a little bit better.
PACE stands for Property Assessed Clean Energy, and it's basically a program that is government assisted, that instead of you having to finance solar and put it on your credit repair or your credit profile, you can finance it and put the debt under your property taxes to the span of 20 years. So it's super cool.
I've had a lot of people come into my law firm saying, Justin, I went and bought solar, and they want to sue their solar company because it seems like a lot of solar companies have popped up over the last few years, seeing a quick buck, and then they realize they don't know how to run a business. They go out of business, and now I'm screwed as the consumer. IQ Power Solar has been around for a long time, but what should I be looking for? And I trust you guys. You did my own solar. But if I'm out there looking for a solar company right now, what should I be looking for, and how can I really find out more information about these solar companies and make sure it's a legit company?
Well, firstly, I don't think that some of the companies that fail are not legit. I don't think that they are intentionally trying to, hurt consumers, but it's a really tough business, A. Second, most of the businesses that struggle, their sales models that partner up with a contractor that does the installs. So a two-part is, when you hire a contractor, a solar contractor, understand a few things. Are they and the installer the same company? It's important to go with a company that the sales model and the install model are connected, because then they hold each other accountable. And make sure that they've been in the industry for a long time, not in contracting, but in the solar specific industry, because you find a lot of companies, they've been doing plumbing since 79, but they've really been in solar since 2018, and if, there's 400 plus solar companies in Florida, and in reality, not more than 10% have more than 10 employees, which means, statistically speaking, almost all of them are subcontractors.
Yeah, terrible.
Not IQ Power.
Do yourself a favor. If you're tired of paying that electricity bill every single month, call us right now, 407-205-0400. I will connect you immediately with Stephen Bader of IQ Power Solar. They will come to your house. They're very professional, and they'll do a whole analysis of exactly what you can do to go solar, but also to save on that electricity bill more than just putting solar panels on my house. So when you guys came to my house, you went through my attic. I mean, I didn't understand why that was, but explain why you needed to do more than just put solar panels on my roof.
Well, we understand home energy usage and, the way that behavior contributes to an electric bill. So one of our key philosophies at IQ Power is reduce before you produce. You want to, your electric bill comes from somewhere. So we wanted to understand where you're wasting electricity, which systems in your home were not efficient, and address those problems. Because ultimately, if we just go and put a bunch of solar on your roof, you still would have had a super inefficient hot water tank. You still would have had a very unhealthy attic space with poor insulation and no ventilation. So by addressing all those issues, A, you needed less solar, so you saved probably $10,000. But B, you're not going to have those nightmares in a couple of years.
I've also heard that some of these energy companies, the big boys that we hear about all the time, that I was paying $500 a month to, are trying to create their own little solar platforms as well. What's this all about?
Well, you think of it like this. They have thousands and thousands of customers that pay $300 a month blindly and don't ask any questions. Would you want to get rid of that business model?
No, absolutely not.
So at this point, they really don't care how they're providing energy. They just want to make sure that you don't stop paying them, and if that means them putting solar on your roof, then do that. However, it's a massively different approach to solar because you don't own your solar panels, and when someone drills into the trusts of your home, you don't own your home anymore.
Yeah, okay. So they can come back and take them anytime. It's almost like Blockbuster Video running Netflix. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to stick with Netflix. I don't want Blockbuster taking over there.
Right now, if you're having a hard month, hard quarter, something happens, you can't pay your electric bill, they turn your lights off for a couple of weeks. If that happens, they can threaten to take your home. It's very different.
Ugh.
It's
Absolutely.
I'm not a fan.
Tell me about this tax credit a little bit. It's something you and I have talked about in the past. When I went solar last year, I got a great tax credit. It was awesome. But I've heard it was changing somewhat. What are the changes to this tax credit?
Well, ever since 2006, it was 30%. up until 2016 where it was supposed to end, but then they extended it to 2019. And it finally dropped to 26% this year. So you still have all year to get 26%, which isn't substantial. But I wouldn't recommend waiting past 2020 because it's going to fizzle away to 10%, and that's a dramatic change to the investment outlook.
I don't know how to necessarily ask this question, but is solar political?
Of
Is
course.
solar a Republican or Democrat type thing?
I haven't gotten the indication that it's any one or the other. I mean, historically speaking, I think everyone wants to save on their electric bill.
Yeah, and everyone wants to save the environment as well. I can't understand why everyone hasn't gone solar with virtually everything. Like even in the front yard of my house, I was telling you this on the radio show. We have now all, the walkway lighting or whatever. It's all solar. It works just fine. I don't understand why everyone wants to wire everything anymore when we have this thing called the sun.
So, solar's everywhere. I mean, if you just drive down the street, billboards are lit with solar. There's solar blinking stop signs all through countrysides. Most streetlights going up new, have solar panels on it. And instead of just the power bill, just imagine if you don't have to run massive electrical wire underground from power, that alone is saving you an obscene amount of money. So,
why is it taking so long then for solar to really take over in this country?
well, long is kind of relative, right? So, just a couple years ago, less than 1/10 of Florida, was solar, and now we're upwards of 3.5–4%, in the country. So. It's pretty heavy strides.
Well, how does the United States compare to the rest of the world then?
Well, in the rest of the world, there's multiple different types of energy. Like in Norway, they use a lot of hydropower. But Germany, for example, is in the high 50 percentile of renewables.
Really?
But, but obviously, it's a smaller country. But there's huge strides all over the place. And especially all over Latin America, there's a lot of solar hot water. I mean, if you take a plane over Turkey, Dominican, Costa Rica, you'll see solar hot water all over the place. And it's gravity-based, so it's usually on the roof. But we're making huge strides. And I know in Orlando alone that there's already been a lot of commitments to be 100% renewable by the 2050. So.
I don't know if you want to save the environment, or I don't know if you want to save on your electric bill. Maybe it's both. There's only one way to make sure you do both of those at the same time, and that's to call us right now, 407-205-0400. I will connect you immediately with Stephen Bader, IQ Power Solar. My bill was $500 a month for my electricity. I don't remember who I was paying at this point. I was so sick of them. You know what I mean? Who do you think I was using? Who do we have in Lake Mary?
You were using Duke.
Duke. Ha ha ha. Duke. They don't even miss me, though. They don't care, right? They don't miss me. They're not going to miss you at all. Who cares? Duke now gets $50 a month from me. They were getting $500 a month from me. And is that pretty typical? I mean, is my situation fairly typical of the people you work with?
No, you had a horrible electric bill. The average bill is, in the $275, $300 range. But the results are typical.
Okay, good deal. Last thing, value of the home. And this is something that I think it's taken a little bit longer for us as a real estate community to understand how having solar can affect the value of your home. What are your thoughts on value?
Well, to be specific, solar that saves you money increases your home value. I think most of the confusion comes into play with solar pool heat. Solar pool heat is a luxury, and also just so you know, solar pool heating doesn't qualify for the tax credit because it's a luxury. But if something is reducing your cost of living, and energy efficiency products are undisputed, generally speaking, in increasing your home value, but if you go into a home that has a $300 bill versus the neighbor's house that has a $20 bill, that increases your home value. And energy efficiency products already use a formula to the tune of 12 to 15 times what they save you in a year. So it's not a coincidence that if you look at how much your solar is saving you and multiply it by 12 years, it's going to be close to what your contract price is.
And let me bring in Carlos Lido here then, too. Excellent real estate agent here in Central Florida. Let's say you're working with welcome to the show again, by the way. Good
Thank
to
you
see
so much.
Let's say you're working with a buyer, right? And
Yeah.
they're looking in this one particular neighborhood.
Yeah.
There are two houses very, very similar. One of them, in the MLS remarks or whatever, says that the electricity bill every month is $20 because they have solar. The other one, the electricity bill is $350 because they don't have solar. I mean, do you think that buyer would pay a little bit more to avoid having that electricity bill?
Justin, I think it's, as my friend said here, it's such a benefit. It's basically, you got a better benefit in that kind of property. So when the person thinks about what will be more beneficial for them in terms of electricity and saving, I feel it's such a great opportunity to get into that property.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, no doubt about it. Let's say that you're working with a buyer too.
Yeah.
So you're working with a buyer. I mean, at what point does it become annoying? Let's have an honest conversation here for a second, because some buyers want to go see 1,000 houses before they ever make an offer on it whatsoever. Some of them, 2 or 3. If we watch House Hunters, we know that they only see 3 houses and they have to choose one.
Correct.
In real life, it doesn't work like that. If you're working as a buyer's agent, what is sort of an amount of houses it's okay to go see before it's like, wow, these people are driving me nuts?
My partner and myself, we always have some goals on that. We don't like to show to customers more than 5 houses, because that's going to create they're going to get confused and anything. We always plan our day. Daily basis, we plan 3 houses at least. So from those 3 houses, we just go and move forward.
I've always wondered, too, where you're working with a buyer for, say, a few weeks or whatever. You spend a lot of time with them, and then they're on the internet looking at houses themselves, and they call the listing agent directly. Right. Do you ever have that happen where then the listing agent says, oh, well, don't worry about your buyer's agent? I mean, are they really locked in with you, or how does that work?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's all about how you offer the properties, man, let me tell you. So out there, it's all about how you sell the property, and talking about what my friend was saying about the solar panels is such a great benefit for the properties, let me tell you. So if we have the chance to offer those houses, that will be great.
Let's say that you're working as my listing agent. How do you come up with the list price? What are you looking at?
In that kind of property, I will say 600, maybe 700.
Yeah. So in general, what solar, not solar, whatever. Let's just say I'm looking to sell my home, and I hire Carlos here. What information are you really going to look at? How are we going to come up with what price I should list my house?
Well, basically, we're going to look the amount of bedrooms, the bathrooms, the square feet. It's all based on that, on the area mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the rental market right now?
Man, it's so much money right now on that. I feel like some people, they don't understand that when they pay the rent, they easily qualify sometimes to pay a home. It's based on how's their credit, on everything, but paying a rent right now, it's increasing right now. So basically, whoever is paying for a rent more than $1,500, they easily can qualify for a loan.
Yeah.
And get into a home.
I mean, the rental market right now is out of control. It's great if you're a landlord, but if you're a regular guy or gal trying to put a roof over your family's head, the rental market's out of control. It's absolutely better to buy right now. The same house that you purchase is going to cost you less to pay a mortgage than it would to rent the same exact house. Speaking of buying some houses, Carlos is going to take us on a tour of 2 really, really cool properties here. Let's start, guys, down in Orlando. This is Henbury Street.
Henbury Street.
Tell me about this one.
Well, right now in the screen is, 10288 Henbury Street. That one is located in Lake Nona. It's in such a great community. It's called Eagle Creek. The house counts with 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. Fully upgraded, by the way. There's a pond outside of the property. The kitchen has fully upgraded with the granite, all that, the appliances.
Gotcha. What's the price point on this one here?
This one, we start listed about $519. Right now, decrease the price to $509.
Oh. What do you think the payment is on 509? 500 grand, you're looking at
a conventional loan, maybe we're talking about probably 2,800.
Yeah. But if I were to go rent that same house, I'm probably $3,000 probably just to rent it, don't you think?
Yeah, of course.
Unbelievable. How is Lake Nona doing, by the way? We hear all about Lake Nona, about
Lake
the medical
Nona is
city.
Booming.
It's going crazy still,
It's growing, man. Let me tell you, it's not that far from Boxy Park. It's such a great community, man. Let me tell you, it's golf community.
Oh, so there's a golf course here.
Yes.
Beautiful. If you have any questions about this property, would like to see this property, I'll hook you up with Carlos right away. 407-205-0400. And now let's head down to Davenport. Now, I think you can still get some pretty good deals down in Davenport. Is this that Four Corners area, kind of?
Yeah, it's like close.
Okay.
Close to that side.
So Alphon Drive. Tell me about this property.
So this property is located in a community that is called Summer Corners. It has 4 beds, 3 baths. The cabinets counts 42-inch. That's the size. As we can see, has granite all over the place, fully upgraded. The floor is tile. It's a pretty cool place.
That's a beautiful home there. If
It
you have any
is.
questions, we'd like to see this house, same phone number, 407-205-0400. When you're working as a listing agent, what is sort of a regular time frame that we should really spend waiting on an offer? What's average?
You mean the time?
Yeah, how long is it going to take me to get an offer?
Maybe with us, it takes like maybe a week.
A week?
Or no, maybe like days. It's
Really?
pretty quick. It's a good
Wow,
process.
unbelievable. What about when you go to my house? I tell you I want you to come sell my house, and I say, oh, I know this place is worth $600,000, and you're like, dude, your house is worth $300,000. How does that conversation go?
We always have to do a comparative market analysis. We have to check the prices around that in that area, in that community. So basically, we go with that process, and then you have a roughly idea how much it's worth your property.
And then, but how do we have that argument? Are you going to say, whatever, if you think it's $600,000, we'll list it for $600,000?
We always like to hear the customer view. If they say the house is worth $600,000, we try to approach maybe the price, but we have to be also realistic. There's a market out there. We don't like to lie people and tell you, hey, look, your house is worth $1.2 million.
Yeah, of course.
That's not the reality.
Well, it's going to sit on the market
So-
for 1.2 million years.
It's all about results and prices in the area, basically.
Last question. Let's say that I'm a buyer. I'm working with you.
Yeah.
And I have a pre-qualification letter for $280,000.
Okay.
What price point of houses should you be showing me? Should you be showing me stuff at $350,000 or should you be sticking to that $280,000? What do you think?
Maybe until $300,000,
Okay.
to be fair.
Because you can negotiate down a
Yeah,
little
of
bit,
course,
hopefully.
man. Yeah.
But I mean, I struggle a little bit. But people will come in and say they have a pre-qual for $280,000, but yet they're looking at houses that are $400,000. I'm like, this is gonna kill your heart because you're gonna fall in love with a house that's $400,000 that
Right.
you can't afford. So so up to maybe $20,000-$30,000 more you should
Yeah,
look
exactly.
at just in
That's-
hopes
that's
that
the
you
goal,
could
yeah.
negotiate.
Yeah.
Carlos Lito, excellent agent. Thanks for joining.
Thank you
You're gonna
so
stick
much.
around for the real estate roundtable, I hope, huh?
Yep.
All right. And without further ado, it is time for this week's Real Estate Roundtable. Every week here on You Have Real Estate, I answer your questions that you give me from throughout the week. All you have to do is go to Facebook and ask me your questions right there at You Have Real Estate, and I might just answer your question next week here on You Have Real Estate. Let's go to Sam in Tampa. Justin, thanks for the show. I watch all the time on Facebook. I did solar on my house, and I love it. Thank you, Steve. This is our boy Sam. What did you do to
really?
his house?
Is that Samir?
Yeah.
Oh, well, cool. That's cool that he reached out to you. Oh, he had a worse bill than yours. He had
What was his?
He had an
Please,
$800 bill.
$800. What was he doing in that house?
Well, he leaves all the windows open when his AC's at 69. But no, so he has a pool. So we changed out his pump. He has a super efficient pump. He had he has a really unique attic space. So we did some green energy barriers, what it's called, and we added some solar attic fans for ventilation. We changed out his water heating systems, which saved him a lot of money, almost $100 a month
Yeah.
because of this scheduling. And then we put a pretty big system on his house, 17, 18 kW.
So you think his bill is down to what now?
He actually just told us, sent us a picture a couple weeks ago. I would have brought it on, but I think his bill was like $74.
Wow, 800
and
to 74.
he's very cavalier about, still being wasteful.
Yeah.
Because now he thinks because he has solar. But,
Why can't I just see him on the couch drinking a beer with the AC wide open and the window also wide open?
No, Sam works around the clock, and he's got a secret little room in his house with 15 computers. So he uses a lot of electricity.
Really?
Yeah, not super
I want a secret room. Are the
No,
kids
but he
allowed
has
in there?
he has an office where he's got because he used to be a Goldman guy. So even though he's in contracting now, he's still super serious.
I have an office too. It's the only room in the house that I say is my room. It's finger paint everywhere. It's it's where we do the homework, everything.
Did they
I
lie
don't
to
have
you?
a room.
Did they
Oh
lie
yeah,
to you
yeah.
and tell
No,
you it was your room? 'Cause
Yeah, I was
it's
like, I'm
not.
putting my foot down with this family. We're gonna have a family meeting. No one's coming in my office. Sure, Dad.
You should have
It's
known
a-
when
it's a party.
the carpet was one of those car maps.
Yeah,
It wasn't your office.
It's a whole kid party in this office all the time at my house. Unbelievable. Stephanie in Orlando, thank you for watching, Stephanie. Justin, I love watching the show over on News 6. how do you feel about the real estate market in 2020? Well, I have my own thoughts. Carlos, I'd like to hear yours.
Yeah, it's pretty good right now. Right now is the time, guys. If you're looking to buy, just give us a call today.
Yeah, I think the real estate market in 2020 is really in a good spot. With interest rates still so low, I think now is a fantastic time to buy. The prices right now, real estate-wise, truly are 2006 prices, if not still a little bit less. Now, 14 years later, I think the prices are exactly where they should be. You're going to hear about a recession coming. The recession is not going to impact the real estate market here. Don't let the recession scare you away from buying. 2020 is going to be great for the real estate market here in Central Florida. John in Orlando. Justin, I trust you and I want solar. I always see IQ on your show, but I like to do my own research. How should I research solar companies? Steve Bader, I'll let you take that one.
Well, reviews are still a safe haven for reviewing, contractors, but, solar reviews, it's one of the most dominant, solar review platforms in existence. And you can't just go on there and make up a review. You have to have a contract. There has to be a pretty substantial amount of data to put a review on there. And, we've been a top-rated contractor for the last 7 years, year after year. And,
Carlos, same question, realtors. How do I research good real estate agents?
Man, just look on Zillow. We are in Zillow. We are everywhere in the market, so we can definitely help any single client.
My realtor never gets back to me. This is Frank in Lake Mary, by the way. My realtor never gets back to me. Can I fire him?
That's one of the main mistakes that realtors make nowadays. We try to make a connection with each client that we have, and we try to follow up with every single client that we have sold before.
If you're a business owner, I don't care if you're the COO of a solar company, a realtor, a lawyer, clients just want to hear from us. At the end of the day, they just want to know everything is okay. Don't you think, Steve?
100%.
And you guys have been so good with us at always getting back to me, and the service at IQ Power Solar is just so fantastic. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much.
We have a lot of high maintenance clients like you.
I'm the least high maintenance client you've ever had. I work too much. If you have questions, you want a free solar review, call us right now, 407-205-0400. Carlos Lito, thank you, buddy. Hope to see you soon.
So
Stephen Bader, as always, great to see you.
Thank you for having
Hopefully
me.
I can see you this weekend. But most importantly, thank you for joining me here today. If you have any questions at all, 407-205-0400. Or if you're looking to sell your house and you want it displayed right here on this program, it's the same phone number, 407-205-0400. Dallas Lehman's also standing by to get you pre-approved for your house hunt this weekend. I'm attorney Justin Clark, and I'll see you right back here next week on You Have Real Estate.
You Have Real Estate with attorney Justin Clark is sponsored by Margaritaville Cottages, Orlando.